Hello, everybody. Today, I want to talk to you about the fact that we live in what's called a constitutional republic, not a democracy. See, when I went to school, we had to pass the Constitution test twice. Once before we could graduate 8th grade, and once our junior year of high school. Now, they obviously don't teach these kids this stuff anymore. I don't know, but it doesn't appear so, because so many people in the past 3 generations, from 18-year-olds to 32-year-olds, seem to think that we live in a democracy. We do not live in a democracy. We live in a constitutional republic where our leaders are democratically elected. There is a big difference. Everybody, all these senators, Nancy Pelosi, AOC, all of them want to call it, we're a democracy. No, we are not a democracy. Mob rule does not count here. We are what's called a constitutional republic, which means that we are governed by a constitution, not what the mob wants. And, the sooner we start teaching our kids this again, the sooner we start straining out, which is one of the things Charlie Kirk always aspired to teach, was that we don't live in a democracy, even though so many college students today think that we do. We do not. We live in what's called a constitutional republic. I know I've said that like 4 times, but it seems that nobody seems to get it. Everybody seems to think, from 18 to 30, seems to think that we live in a democracy. That is a lie. They're trying to take away our constitutional republic and turn it into a democracy. You know what democracy leads to? Democracy leads to socialism. You know what socialism leads to? It leads to communism. We will never be a democracy. Not as long as there are true Americans around to make sure that we stay a constitutional republic. The Constitution has worked for over 200 years, and it works great still today. Sometimes laws are passed that are unconstitutional, and generally most of the time those get overturned. Not the case with the Seatbelt Law. Seatbelt Law, one of the most unconstitutional laws ever passed, but we as a people allowed it to happen. We didn't put our foot down. We didn't stop it. And that was the beginning of the slippery slope, trying to turn us into a democracy. You see, the Constitution clearly states that no law can be passed to govern what I do unless what I do potentially causes bodily harm to another. Me not wearing a seatbelt does not cause bodily harm to anyone but me. That's it. It's the most unconstitutional law ever passed, ever held. I wish that we could take it to the Supreme Court because it is not constitutional. Whether or not I wear a seatbelt doesn't affect your safety at all. Or the person next to me. Or the person next to you. Therefore, it should have never been passed because the Constitution says that unless what I'm doing could cause you or someone else bodily harm, it's illegal for them to pass laws to govern it. See, it's called freedom. Our founding fathers were smart. They knew what happened if they didn't put safeguards in to keep us from becoming a democracy. What would happen? They'd already lived it. They lived in England. They lived in Ireland, other places where they came from. They had already lived it. Being forced to one religion. Being forced. It's insane. Wake up, sheeple. We do not live in a democracy. We live in a constitutional republic. Period. The sooner you all grasp that, the sooner maybe you won't be so damn upset all the time. Thank you. Have a good night.